Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and of course you know where we are at Mariposa Restaurant. It's on the corner of Decatur and Sahara, and amazing restaurant. It's Mexican cuisine, which is a little bit it's not just like the regular Mexican restaurant. They've got the beautiful dinners, and they've also got a great luncheon, and of course drinks. They've got happy hour, got whole thing all above. And I have Lindsay Mays with me. Lindsay Mays is a singer. You know, I don't pre-interview, and I'm sure she's looking at me like, what are you going to talk about? That's what you're thinking, right? She doesn't know anything about me, and I don't know what to say. Oh, you've got plenty to say, believe me. How old are you, Lindsay?
I'm 17 years old.
17 years old,
yes.
And you are a singer, and
yes.
You've been singing since a very young age.
Yes, I've been singing since I was about 3 years old, so since I was
So
able
you were
to
singing
talk.
And not crying?
Yeah, basically. I was a good child.
She would come out singing instead of crying.
Yes, I was
Did you
singing.
know at 3 years old that you were going to be a singer, or that you wanted to sing? I mean, you're only 3.
No, actually, when I was younger, I did ballet, and I did karate.
We have a miracle child.
I did ballet and karate, and then somehow this transitioned into theater, and then I decided that I didn't like theater, so I went into doing...
This is all at 3 years old?
No.
Not a little older. Okay.
A little bit.
We've gone a little...
It started at 3.
It started at 3.
Yes.
So you did theater, and why did you not like theater? Not enough singing?
Yeah, I think that was the main thing. I don't hate it, but I would rather watch it than actually be in it.
Actually doing it?
Yeah.
Was it because you had to memorize all those lines and all that stuff, and
I
became
think
boring?
It was the dancing, actually, which was interesting because that was what I used to do, but I think that it was just too much on my brain to like do dancing, singing, and yeah.
But don't you find there's a lot right now anyway that the singers dance as well? They have their own thing going, don't
yes.
they? A lot of them do that. Have you ever considered doing that yet?
I have considered, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing some like dancing lessons just so I know
how to move a little bit on stage. Even if you move on stage just by yourself, you know, to learn what you can do in different steps and different things that you can suddenly put in there.
Exactly.
You like all that stuff. You're going to sing something for me?
I can.
Well, then you're going to.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just sing something or short something.
Dear Dad, oh, 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 I miss you. You're not home. I miss when you call the phone. I want to hear your voice. You're my dad, and it's not a choice.
Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. Did you write that?
I did.
Wow. And why did you write that particular in those words? What was the reasoning?
When I was about 9 years old, my dad decided that he did not want to be involved in my family anymore.
Uh-oh. Sounds like divorce time.
Yeah, a little bit like that. And so I wrote a letter, and I actually transitioned it into a song about a year and a half ago. So I wrote like a melody line to it, and I kind of revised the words so that it sounded a little more poetic than just a letter, and it transitioned again, into a song.
Because that seems to be where you gravitate all the time, is a song, because that's what you actually do, and that's what you enjoy. Now, did that transition happen? Did your father leave, or did he stay? Or has he come back?
He did leave. I speak to him occasionally, but it's a little rocky, so...
Is that kind of disappointing to you?
It is. It is, but I find that singing helps me kind of cope with that.
To get over all that kind of thing. Are you the only child, or you have brothers and sisters?
I am an only child.
You're an only child. That's probably even worse, because you know you talk to your mum all the time and you'd like to talk to your dad. So did you get on with him very well when they were married?
Yeah, when my dad was around, we got along very well. I was like your typical daddy's girl. Like he took me to do everything, and I was like his star child.
Isn't that beautiful? And so obviously you miss all that.
Yeah.
So you see him once a year, twice a year. You see him.
I haven't seen him in about 8 years, but we speak.
Oh my
sometimes.
goodness, Dad! Come on, get your act together. She's 17. Is that because we're getting into a whole different subject? But is that because of your mom and dad that you haven't done that in respect to your mom?
No. So my dad suffers from an alcohol addiction. And so
I love the way she puts it.
But
how cool is that?
My mom is a therapist, so.
Oh no, that would never go together. She's probably forever nagging him. You drank too much, you come home drunk, Goodness gracious. I love the way you put it though.
But he suffers from an alcohol addiction, and so it's mainly his choice to not come around. Which is fine. It's his choice.
Yeah, that's his choice, and you don't mind that.
Yeah.
Do you think when you're 18 things will change?
I don't think so.
No.
Just because talking to him now is really awkward because he hasn't been in my life for 8 years.
So it's a little hard.
Yeah, it's a little bit I don't know.
But you get your satisfaction and everything out of your mom.
Yeah, my mom is like my mom and my dad, but she hates when I say that.
Yeah, because you got rid of him. You keep But children don't know. Children don't understand all that. They just know that that's my dad and that's my mom. And, and that's what they know. They don't really go. They will never know that because they just don't know until maybe you have your own boyfriend and your own children, and then you'll understand it a little better. Probably, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand what anymore. So, does your mother encourage your singing?
My mom is the main encourager of my singing, actually.
Oh.
So she pays for my vocal lessons and all that, and
So you go to vocal lessons every week, or?
So I did prior to COVID. I went to vocal lessons every single week, and so it was not necessarily teaching me to sing. It was just refining what I already know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that practicing your voice and different ways to sing? Do they give you different ways how to use your mouth? Because it all comes out of your mouth and your throat and your diaphragm and all that stuff. So do they teach you how to sort of change it and use it and take in longer notes? Yeah,
so my vocal coach had a boot camp, and he literally showed us the science behind singing, how it works. Yeah, so it's not actually your vocal cords, it's inside of your...
It's inside.
Yeah, and so it really matters how your posture is while you're singing, and he taught us how to eat, because you're not supposed to have dairy before you sing either, and so it's a lot. Wow,
we're getting a big lesson out there. It's not costing anything. So he tells you what to do. Well, they always say don't eat before you perform.
Yeah,
I don't ever eat. Yeah, I don't ever eat before I perform because when you eat, you kind of go down. You kind of don't have the energy, so you want to keep that energy up. Now, when you go to write a song, do you write all your own songs?
I do write all of my songs. I have done covers of songs by other artists, but I've never recorded and put out a song that wasn't written by me.
So you've got songs out there that are put out. You've recorded some of your songs?
Yes, I have songs on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora.
And what are they under? What name are they?
My name is Lindsay Duke.
Lindsay Duke.
Lindsay with an A, not an E.
Lindsay. Okay, we'll get it right. Lindsay Duke. Because I know you go under another name, but it's under Lindsay Duke. And you've got how many recordings do you have out there?
So I have a full album with 12 songs, and I have a single.
And what's your single? Is the single the one you just sung?
No. So the song that I just sang is called Dear Dad, and it's on my album. My album is called The Light. And then I have a single called Walks on Water, and it talks a little bit about my journey with like God and kind of
Can you
just
sing a little bit of that?
okay, so this song is really personal to me, so it's called Walks on Water. Thank God my lifeguard walks on water. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. The gunshots, the pain, the lies and the stabbings. Why is all of this stuff still happening? What's going on in the outside world? All of the evil is being unveiled when the shots fire and the lies are told. And there's a guy I know, he helps me through it all. He's a light in a world of all dark. He has a never-ending spark. When your self-esteem is altered, lay down at the altar, 'cause there is a lifeguard that walks on water.
What you? Someone will be crying here. You wrote that.
Yes.
So you were mixing God with all the tragedy that we're having. We've got
Yeah.
so much tragedy out there. So many shootings, and I still don't know a lot of the reasoning or the reasons why they're shooting people. I don't quite understand. They're walking into. I mean, 2 police officers were shot the other day for a woman that called. There was an argument, whatever was going on, and the police walk in, and they're both shot. So was it a set-up deal to shoot the police, or was it? We probably will never know that.
It's really tragic.
But you being very young, you're only 17. I mean, I can
Yeah.
understand a little bit of what the war's going on, but do you think it's the devil coming out and the devil's unveiling himself?
I actually talk about that in the song.
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot of like violence and things that happen that we don't know how to explain. And so for a lot of people who are religious, the best explanation is that it's the devil who is kind of orchestrating.
Surfacing. Yeah, he's surfacing in different ways in different places. And is that because you're only 17 and that's how you feel and that's how you see it?
Yeah, a little bit. So I know that a lot of things are just like, it comes down to facts and statistics that are out there, but like in order for me to feel kind of comforted, I can just know that like there's a higher power that has my best interests in mind.
So do you want to give the message to all the younger generation? You want to give them the message that they could actually change this? The younger generation, because it seems to me that a lot of the younger generation are doing these shootings. They seem to be, quite young. And so you think that if you put this message out there, they will listen and maybe understand?
Yeah, I think that the main message I'm trying to put out there is just that if you use your voice, if you use the talents that you have, whether it's writing, whether it's art, even if it's just like playing instruments, it's really important to put that out there because there's always someone who's going to listen. And so being a positive light to other generations that are even younger than I am is really important to me. But a lot
so they can actually think of their world being brought up in a different way other than shooting and violence.
Yeah, exactly.
And try to say something nice instead of saying something bad. It's like, I mean, I see when you walk out of a door, they just let it slam in your face, and that was not how I was brought up. You always you always kind of paid attention to what was around you, and to like give the courtesy of her. But I see so many things that are they're just rude, and but I don't know if it's because they're not taught, or whether it's because they just don't know, or whether they're ignoring the fact. What do you think? Are they just doing their own thing?
Well, I think there's a mix of both because there's people who have been taught proper manners and don't follow them.
Yeah.
But I know that I was raised to open the door for people. I was raised to be kind before anything else.
Before anything, and that's how I was raised. I was raised to at least be, say hello or smile or do something. But now it seems to be sort of, it's not that at all. It's like, the worse and more nasty you are, the better off you are. I don't get that. But
Yeah,
so
it's
do you think it's
interesting.
more of the younger generation, or do you think it's more of just how they see themselves?
I think it comes down to how people are raised, because a lot of things that I was taught by my mom, someone else was not taught by their parents.
Yeah.
And so it is, to a certain extent, the generation has not been taught.
It's a big generation
Yeah,
gap.
there's a huge, like, there's a lot of trauma that people go through that create personalities, and there's just so many different factors to why people are the way they
They
are.
are. So you're going to try to change, this young lady is going to try to change how you can change yourself as in music
Yes.
and in lyrics, and hopefully they're going to listen to those lyrics and listen to what you're saying.
Yes, I hope so.
See, look, she hopes so. So
I hope
are
so.
you doing it for that reason?
I always, in everything I do, my highest intention is to help people. And so the reason I write my songs is so that there's someone who doesn't have a support system. It's so that that person feels as though they have someone who will listen to them. And so my lyrics are always positive. They're always encouraging, because not a lot of people that grew up with that.
This is such a great message for our younger generation that don't have the support. And we do understand that the mums and dads are out working and they're trying to sort of, make money to give the children the education and to better their children. At the meantime, they're missing out.
Yes.
Because they're more over here than they are where they should be with their children. If you could give advice to your mum and dad divorced. What did you feel when that happened? Because you didn't understand why, probably. Well, you probably did, but not really, because you're only, 9 years old, 8 years old? What did you feel? I mean, were you disappointed? It's like...
So my parents didn't have a proper, divorce, because they were never married, and so I didn't really have experience with, marriage, it's important, and so...
So you couldn't say
that?
Yeah,
it wasn't, terribly, detrimental to who I am, but in a way, I was like...
You're used to your mom and dad.
Yeah, I was like, where's my dad? I was like, where did he go? What the heck?
Yeah, where is he? What's he doing now?
I was like, why is he
So you
not
didn't,
at home?
because he was always there. You were always able to talk to him about different things that you probably wouldn't talk to your mum about. Because I'm quite sure there's a relationship with your father, and there's a relationship with your mother, and then there's the relationship with adopted parents, and there's all different relationships going along, especially this day and age.
Yeah.
There's lots of, so you've got to actually, as a young person, they've got to deal with it.
Yep.
And the way you deal with it is through music.
Yes, I deal with almost everything through
Everything
music.
with music. Okay, so where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Music by Lindz, and that's Lindz. And then you can find all of my music on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Pandora under Lindsay Duke. Or Lindsay.
Lindsay. Yeah, Lindsay Duke. She's got these different names going around. Did you put all this together? Did you put yourself on all these platforms?
Yes.
I knew she did, because the younger generation and this computer stuff, they just it's all up there and done and gone. I'm sort of like da, 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 da. So you put yourself up there. Are you getting yourself a big name out there?
Not right now.
Well, now you are, because now she's on Vegas.
Yes,
now she's on Vegas Live with Ninon.
Yes.
And we're going to boost her up there. We're going to make sure we get her out there, because that's what Vegas Live with Ninon does. What we actually do on this show is we have a lot of entertainment people, but as well as lawyers and people running for politics. And we have all different people on our set. But our main thing is the entertainment business, and it doesn't matter what you are, what you do. So, if you can support her with all the platforms she's given you out there, Lindsay Duke,
Yes.
Make sure I get it right as well. Lindsay Duke, and make sure that, and also go to YouTube, Vegas Live with Ninon, and subscribe, and then also become a member, and also become what was the other thing we have to come? There's a thing there called join, and when you join, it costs you something so much every month, but you get all different things that my producer will send you. There's a whole package you get. And of course, we have our website and everything else. And don't forget, we're at Mariposa Restaurant. Absolutely amazing. And that's on, obviously, in Las Vegas. And that's on the corner of Sahara and Decatur. And we'll be right back with our next guest. You take care. Thank you very much for coming on. Amazing.
Thank you.
All the time.